Alright guys, we're ready for Halloween here. Look at that. Alright. Your mom, this ain't your mom.
No, not that one.
This one? That's not your mom. Okay, we're here guys to pick up some, what are we picking up?
Lights.
For the, to do the bypass?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a bypass, okay. Alright, well guys, once we get to where the electrical is, we'll show you what we're doing. We're doing a fluorescent bypass. If it's the fluorescent lights, it may be just a switch in the kitchen for a light fixture. We'll see when we get there, but we want to come prepared. He has one on his truck. He used the other one. Usually he keeps a set of two. I keep a set of two.
I got this one mixed up with Magnolia's store. Magnolia has their lighting with a plumbing.
Oh, okay. Well, here, pretty soon. We're going to find the lighting and we'll get back right to you.
Found it.
We need a couple, inch and a quarter. We want a couple of these, but an inch and a half. That way, Vinny's going to copy that Milwaukee one that they have where you cut out a notch like this, and then you can put this in, and then you can snake, turn the water on, and then you can snake, and then when you hit the clog, the water starts going down and you can see it. So you put your hole here, you put your snake in here, you put a bucket under here, and you turn your water on real low, and then you snake through here, and then when you hit the clog, it clears, and you know it's cleared, and then you take this out, put the other one back on. So he's gonna make two, one for my truck and one for his truck. And he got ahead of me. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, a lot of different stuff from the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, shower curtain rods. There's shower rods. What is that? Oh. Alright guys, we're gonna go down another aisle here. I don't want to bore you. Okay, I think he needs a towel bar. Do you need a towel bar? A Delta towel bar, I think? Or a oh, ooh, man, that just gave me PTSD. Is that the right word? PTSD?
Yep, I think so.
I watched John Phillips yesterday from John Phillips Plumbing. Johnny Boy, Johnny Sunshine. I watched him put some bars in, and man, did it give him hell. And I understand, man, the struggle is real with this shit. You know, these are really good with no liability. I had a customer buy these, and hasn't broke loose yet, but she does take them off periodically and clean behind them and then resets them. But I was watching John yesterday, and you know, guys, I put these in left and right too. In fact, a lot of, I have to put more than my share of these in, and I'll tell you why. A lot of these apartment owners are older. They're in their 80s, they're in their 90s, some of them, and they know who I am because a lot of the invoices go straight to them. They go to the management company, and then they're forwarded. Some the management companies pay them direct, and then some send them for the owners to pay, but the owners all know me, and so they have me come to put these in all the time. And I've kind of developed a technique. I don't know if it's good or bad, but to me it's good. And maybe one day I'll share it, but I can just give you a little on. First of all, the biggest part is drilling those holes and trying to find a stud. And I do have a technique for both those. And like John was talking yesterday, you have your ceramic tile, and then you have your porcelain. You've got all your different materials. And here's this thing that he was using that he said, yeah, wingets right here. I never did like these. They're way too big. Talking about a fuck up. When you make a fuck up with these, man, the hole is so fucking big. I wanted to look at it, but they're good. I mean, this part of it is good, but I do different ways, different times, and I don't use, like John was saying, this drill bit ain't worth shit. Maybe we'll walk over to the drill bits and I'll show you what I use. But these fasteners are great, but I try to catch a stud. And I always try to lay out my bars not where they're straight, within a 16-inch angle. I usually catch a stud here and catch a stud in an angle there. If they want a straight one, then I try to get it as close to a stud, and if they don't want it where the stud is, then that's when I start going in with these guys or the other fasteners that I use. And I'll kind of, I don't know if it'll help anybody, but I'll kind of give a description of how I do this, and maybe on a piece of paper or something on this video. But let's go look at the drill bits, and we'll go from there. But I can see where these things here look like shit. Let's go look at the drill bits. But anyway, what I try to do is, can you hold this phone? I try to talk my customers into what I want installed for them, because it's going to be my ass that's on that lawsuit when they fall and break a hip or something. So usually I get it my way, and if I don't, depending on how big the customer is, I usually get it my way. And so what I do is, if you have studs every 16 inches, here's a stud, and 16 inches you have another stud, let's just call it there. Sometimes I'll try to get it where I can get one of the, and I'll tell you how I find the studs with tile on the other side, or with tile on that side. But for right now, I try to catch one stud here and then one stud over here. And what we do is we catch just one of the holes there, and then if the other stud's over here, we try to put an angle stud to stud like this. And then if they have a 16-inch model that you can go from 16 to 16 also. So if they want a straight one, I usually try to go stud to stud, 16. But if it's in a place where they just don't want it, and they want it like in between here, that's when I start going to this shit. But when they do that, that's when I interrupt them. I stop them right in their place, and I say, okay, well, if you let me have it my way, I know this thing is never going to come off. It's going to stud to stud. But if you want it your way, no problem. I will give it to you your way, but you must sign a disclaimer. So on the invoice, I make them sign a little disclaimer that if this ever fails, it's not on residential repairs. Okay guys, and then there is one disclaimer that I put in every single time, and if they don't like it, I don't work. And even if their building is big. But there's one disclaimer, is that I haven't never ever in all the years I've been putting these in, I've never cracked a tile yet, but you can see where it's very possible. And so I always put a disclaimer, and I make them sign it before I work, that if we crack a tile, that I would do everything I can to fix that one tile. If the tiles don't match, that would be the furthest, I would go, would be to try to fix that one tile with a matching tile or non-matching tile, but I will not be responsible for a whole shower. So I make that clear, and they sign it, and that's that. And now the other thing is about these tiles, rotary hammers. If you have no experience with rotary hammers, try to just do it dry with a bit with no rotary hammer behind it. If you've got experience with a rotary hammer, what I do is I do use a rotary hammer. And what I do is I start off with taking a small bit, like John said, and a real small teeny bit, and I make a dimple. And then once I got my dimple, I just go up to my next size, or I go up to the size that I want to use, because I put a pretty good dimple. I elongate it. And then what I do is I put her in, and then I start drilling it, and then I push lightly, and I barely get any taps out of my machine. The harder you push against that drill, the more of a percussion you'll get. And so if you barely touch it, you'll just get enough to cruise through that hole. And that's what I do. And I could buy a piece of porcelain one day and a piece of ceramic, whatever they have here, and we could drill some holes and show you how we do it, and maybe it might be useful to somebody. But I do make them sign a waiver that if I crack a tile, it's not on me. I mean, I'll do what I can to doctor it up, or but I won't be replacing their shower. So let's go look at drill bits, Vinny, and we'll see what they got there. Okay, we're finally here. We've been taking detours. So we want right here. Here's our bypass units. Ballast bypass. We want T8 and T12 ballast bypass, and we want it in the brighter one. Bright white. Oh, they're switchable. We don't need to worry, guys. They have a switch on the tubes, so you can pick whatever you want. You can have bright white, you can have cool white, daylight, whatever you want to set it on.
Yeah, but this is a 10 pack.
How much is it?
89. Look. This is a direct or ballast bypass.
Right. T8, T12?
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so get yourself 3 of those and let's go. Let's go look at the drill bits. Hi, how are you? We got it. Thank you.
I want to read something real quick.
Go ahead.
Direct replacement is for T8,
And T12.
but for a bypass you have to do T8 and T12. Okay,
Yeah, either or.
Never
Yeah. You can do either one for bypass. So, all right, guys, we're gonna let's go look at the drill bits. Now, guys, this is the tile department, and you can see that when it comes for drill bits, hardly anything. They've got hole saws, you know, shit like that, and I've got all that on the truck. But they did used to sell some drill bits over here, right here. No. I'll show you the one there. In fact, I think, okay, they don't even have any here, but we'll go to the tool department. But and I'll show you kind of what I usually go to for porcelain and ceramic. Okay, guys, let's go through some of their drill bits. Yeah, I was watching John with those handrails, and man, it brings, every time I do one, I go through the same shit. It always turns out good, but it's just the stress of knowing you got to go do it and what can happen, you know. But now, see these guys, these drill bits ain't worth, these Milwaukee's right here, I've tried them, but they're all right. But these guys here for glass and tile and all, I don't like them. What I do is I go to the I like there's 2 of them that I like. I like the Milwaukee. Let's see if it's over here. Let me find it, guys. All right, guys, this is what I use. I use it successfully. I don't know, maybe other people don't like it, but it's a multi-material, and this is for their tile, for porcelain or ceramic. See the blue checkered with the white and blue? That's for tile. It does all this other stuff as well. But what I do is I get a real small, it's even smaller than, this one is what size? I get a 1/8. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's a 3/16. I get a 1/8 separately. And I dimple, and you can even dimple with these things here. It really don't matter as long as you break through there, just to dimple it. But this is what I cut through with right here, and I never have any problem. And with the rotary hammer, real. All right, and then of course you could buy a package of this and use this to do your dimpling, but I wouldn't try to go through it. I haven't tried these, but I've tried all the other ones. But anyway, guys, that's about it. I can kind of show you how I find my studs. Number one, I do have a deep scan stud finder where I can get through tile and backer board sometimes. But later on in the video, I'll kind of go through it with you. Okay, guys, we're here at the job for the lights. We don't know what's going on. We brought the tools in, and Vinny noticed that the light is falling from the ceiling and is on the light panels or something. We have to be careful with the light panels, Vinny, that we don't break them when we, move the, So, anyway, guys, let's go see what we got here. beautiful day here. Nice breeze. It's about 80, 79, 80 right here where I'm standing, which is what his thermometer said. But the breeze coming this way feels really good. So, anyway, we'll see what we got here. I'm going to start off with the camera kind of down, guys. Alrighty, let me just get a little video of the light up here, Benny. The way it's loose, ain't it?
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, how cute. Go ahead and remove one of those panels and we'll see what we got. Remove that one. That looks safer because that one looks like it's dropped on it.
I'm gonna go on this side.
Okay.
Make this up.
How cute. Look at them. I'll take that one.
Oh, they literally take the.
Can we put these in any order, please? Let's do it this way.
That's tough, right?
Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to get these panels.
Grab 6.
Huh?
Got good thing, grab.
It's a good thing you grabbed 6.
Yeah.
You got 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so anyway, we're going to get these all off here, guys, and then we're going to just get rid of the ballasts, and I'll show you how we do that. But I'm going to let him lay his panels out, and we'll go from there, because we got to put the panels in the same spot.
The light.
Switches off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take off.
We're going to gut all these ballasts and go from there and get a picture there. We'll let you know what we find. We'll get them all opened up and get everything all dropped, and we'll do them all at once and then put them back together all at once. Alright guys, he's getting them all. I'm going to take out all these ballasts. Yeah, I need some pictures of the ballasts leaking, if there's any leakers. It's good to have pictures of the leakers. Alright guys, we got one leaker that's starting to leak right there. Let me...
On white?
No, I'm good right there. Just hold still, get a picture. Maybe just a finger right there. Thank you. Alright guys, we got a leaker there. And just put them on the floor, but upside on the ceramic on the floor here. It won't hurt nothing. If we have to wipe it, we can. It won't stain nothing. You can't hurt tile. But it's not leaking. It's not dripping.
No, it's
Just just put it there, and we'll take it all to the thing. Okay, guys, you're gonna get all these ballasts out. All right, guys, she's got everything out of there. Let me get a picture of all the. All right, I got pictures of everything. All right, now guys, he's gonna go ahead and start direct wiring these. Basically, it's simple. You just give them a lowdown. You've done these videos before. We've got detailed videos how to do this. If you guys need a detailed video, you can go to our library and find one. But just in general, all he's gonna do is
I'm gonna match it. So all on my right side or your left side, the yellows are all gonna go with the whites. Like the white power, the main power, right here for the switch. This is going to all the jumpers now.
Okay.
White over here.
okay.
White over here. So I'm gonna put the white from the main power connecting with the yellows on the fixtures, which is all on these right hand sides. Then with the black wire for the switch is gonna go on
Those.
the red that's jumping the cables along with these blue and reds.
Okay.
These don't reach, so I'm gonna use their existing wire to make it reach.
Okay.
Just a jumper.
Jumpers. Okay.
Right.
Sounds good. Okay, guys, he's getting them wired in. He's putting his jumpers, each one here. There's his jumpers. Okay guys, they don't want it too bright, and so they want it like medium. So all these have 3 brightnesses. You know, you got actually 4, don't it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna put it on. Where are we putting it on?
The second brightest.
On cool light.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vinny's setting them all on cool light, and we'll see how it looks when they're all on. We'll go from there. Alright guys, it's all done. It looks good. It's a good color. It brightens up the kitchen really nice. Everything is really good. Alright guys, let's get out of here. Okay, Vinny is going to take me home. It's 1 o'clock almost. Vinny's going to drop me off. I think he's going to get something to eat, and he's going to go to his last job of the day. And that'll be it. I'll try to get some of these movies out. I want to show you when I get home how I kind of find the studs. And, you know,
Don't you just call my name?
see your name. He's stud. Yeah, right. And guys, please, I don't want you guys to think, or even John, I'm not talking about these handles to throw any shade or anything at John Phillips. I mean, John Phillips, everything he said was on spot. I mean, they're a pain in the ass to install. Trying to find good anchors for them if you don't hit the studs is hard. Trying to drill them motherfuckers without cracking them, I mean, that's hard. And so everything, you know, he says is spot on. So I'm not mentioning any of this to, I mean, you know, everything he did turned out good, looked good. So I'm not bringing this up for any of that. The reason why I'm bringing it up is simply because, you know, I was watching them have a hard time, just like I do. Man, I struggle. In fact, I get nightmares the night before that I have to show up for the job. I tell Alicia, I said, man, I don't even want to touch these. Man, call her and tell her I got fucking stomach bug or something. I don't. But then I get myself together and I go. I swear to God, I hate it that much. And simply because of the liabilities, the 2 liabilities, cracking the tile and also them ripping the thing out, you know, fine. So in no way am I throwing any shade towards what John said or did, because everything he did was right and perfect, and he was just having the same struggles. I mean, even this guy he talks about that does nothing but handrails, I bet you that guy has a fucking problem every time he goes to put one in. I mean, that's just the nature of these jobs. Even though he does it all the time, every day, I bet you, you know, he has the same anxieties about drilling that tile out and shit, you know. So it's nothing about that. I just saw John working on some handrails. I get more than my share. I get more than what I should get because of the owners of all these buildings. And they all want something for their personal home, especially when they get up there at age. So, you know, I get more than what I have to, than I should have to deal with on a yearly basis. You know, at least, I don't know how many I do a year, but not much, but I do a few. And usually one bathroom will use multiple, 1, 2, maybe 3 bars sometimes. But with that being said, I just saw John doing it, and I thought it would be a good topic to add to my video about it. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to.
A lot of the homeowners that at other properties ask you to come to their property.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. The owners of the buildings are up in age, and they're always requesting these things. But the bottom line is, I saw a topic. So I just thought I would share my viewpoint to it. So when I get home, I'll kind of show you guys how I locate the studs, if all possible. And, you know, maybe one day I'll go get some tiles and I'll show you how I drill those porcelain holes. I have just as much problem with them, but I do have a few techniques that work out for me every single time. I've probably started putting handrails in 30 years ago. And luckily, I don't want to jinx myself, but luckily, no fuck ups. So, anyway, and I usually get it my way because I always want a stud. Even if you only get one screw, one stainless steel screw into one hole on that handrail, into a stud, and then down here, another screw, even if you only put one screw, that handrail will never come out with a stainless steel screw into that stud. But I always do fill up the other holes, but I don't fill them up with nothing but Klein. You know those yellow anchors for Klein, and I put stainless steel screws in place of the ones that come with it. And so I'll get one screw to a stud, and then I'll put 2 or 3 yellow anchors on the rest of the holes. They're Kleins, and that just gives it support so it don't teeter. But trust me, you put one stainless steel screw in, and those screws come big, guys. They're thick, and you got to pre-drill the studs so you don't split it. But when that goes in, nothing. But I do still fill the holes up because the owners like to see it all filled up. They don't want just, you know what I mean? So they like to see at least a couple more anchor holes in there with the one with the stud. So when I get home, I'll kind of show you what I do. It works for almost 90-some% of the jobs. Okay, guys, I thought I'd use my own shower to kind of describe how I do this. Now, most of the time, the shower walls that I do only come up to, you know, right here maybe. And then there's a lot of wall left all the way around the bathtub or shower. That's how I find my studs, of course, you know, because when you only have tile going so far, you can find your studs here, but over there rather, if there's no tile. And then once you find your stud, you put a laser on it or a level, and then draw your line down the tile, and then you can do your next one this way, and then you can place these where you want to. And like I said, most of the time I can talk my customers. Most of the time I can talk my customers into picking a spot. For instance, like if maybe they want a handrail here, I usually can talk my customers into picking a spot where there's a stud. Like for instance, you got your king and queen here that comes to here. You got your king, queen. So you're out to about right here. So from here to 16 inches, or it could be somewhere in there. But this is a pocket door, guys. So on pocket doors, you just have to be careful because when to make sure you're spot on. But usually you'll be able to draw your line, and then you'll be able to put a bar here from here to maybe here, 16 inches, whatever the next bar is. So if you got a stud here and you got one here, you just diagonally put it where it fits. And usually I can get them to agree, if it isn't like 100% where they want it, they'd rather have it stud to stud than to have it exactly where they want it, you know. So once they know that you're going to at least get one screw here and one screw there into studs, and they could fucking hang themselves on it if they wanted to, and it's not going to come out. So maybe one here, one over there, or maybe one over there. You can find your studs by going all the way around the skirt on the drywall and then putting your laser and marking your studs. That's one way to find your studs. Now, when you got a situation like this, where in both my bathrooms, let's go to my other bathroom real quick. Okay, guys, as you can see, Vinny keeps his side clean and the girls give it hell. Anyway, as you can see, the same thing happened here, went all the way to the ceiling. So when that happens, what we try to do is we use our, we have 2 stud finders. We have one that has a deep scan, and then we have our other one. What's it called, Vinny? What's the name of that stud finder? Wallabout. And so with that being said, you can find your studs that way. Or if you really want to, like say your stud finders aren't working out well and you got attic space, you can go up there and you can find on your top plate right here up in the attic, you can find your studs, and you can drill a hole right through the drywall, a little 1/16 drill hole on each one stud, and then you take your laser line, you come back in here, and you take your laser and you got your lines. So you can go into the attic, find your top rail, find your studs. You can tell where your studs are because there's nails going downward on the top plate, and you know those are your studs. And then you can just come over to the drywall, maybe about 1.5 inches away, somewhere over here, so you know you're not going to hit their tile, and drill a hole through their ceiling, little tiny hole like that. And I mean small. And then when you're done, you just spackle those little holes, and you can't even see them unless it's a different color other than white. But if it is, they usually have touch-up paint, and you can take a Q-tip, because the hole is so small that when you fill it in with lightweight spackle, all you're going to see is like a pinhead. That's all you're going to see, a white pinhead on all those spots. And so you can take their paint and take a Q-tip, dip your Q-tip in the paint, and then just barely touch each dot. That way you don't have to worry if the paint is new and this paint is older. And by the way, Alicia's been scraping the ceiling. She's been working on this, scraping it. It started to checker. So she's been working on it, and she's patching that in. She's going to give that a second coat. And because we wanted this in here, right over here. And so Vinny put this in to get all this, to stop all that, even though we use our window. So anyway, she's going to finish that, and then we're going to skim coat and plaster. But anyway, you can go to the attic, find the studs, put a pinhole, boom, you got your lines. Otherwise, you can rely on your other. Now, like I said, when I do find a stud and I get at least one stainless steel screw there and one stainless steel screw there. And like I said, maybe they don't want it exactly there. Maybe they want it straight. Then we can do stud to stud that way. But a lot of people, they like that downward effect where as they move away from the towel bar, they can slide their hand down and then grab the other one. Anyway, with that being said, you can also do it that way. But then they more or less to bump into themselves if it's long that way. So I do have good luck installing them in diagonal positions, but we also will go straight. And with that being said, if you can't get it with the stud finder, then you get it through the ceiling. Now let's just say you're downstairs and you have a bedroom on top and you can't do that trick. Then you have to rely on your stud finder, or what you can do is on the opposite side of the wall, you can also identify studs on the opposite side of the wall all the way up to the ceiling. And sometimes you can just take a drill bit and skim right above into the, it's hard to show you, it's hard to say it, but one day, as I get these hand bars coming in, I'll do a few videos. But in no way am I trying to throw any shade like I know what the fuck I'm doing. I really don't. I play it by ear. Every single time it goes in a little bit different other than studs, finding the studs. I always find the studs. But, and I make sure that, we're safe to go, because man, if they rip that thing out, even on the box it says that the manufacturer's not responsible. It says right on the thing that if these come out of the wall or the installer does it wrong, really all the liability, like John says, falls on us guys who install it. Because if they pull it, they fall, they break a hip or go through a glass, you're in big trouble. So if I can't get a stud, I'm not all happy with just those plastic anchors. But like I said, when we do, we'll use Kleins. Once we find a stud, then the other holes we'll put a few yellow Kleins and stainless steel screws, and plus the one to the stud, and it works out great. Okay guys, Benny did a what's that called when you sink it? He already sunk it. And we do have good luck with the Wallabout getting through porcelain and ceramic. Now guys, this particular stud finder works good for me when it hits the green light. Every time you hit a green light, that means if it's all red, if you see 3 dots in a row and it's all red, it's a good possibility it's there. But until you hit that green light, watch, find the green, see how it's green in the middle? That means you got a stud once you get it for sure. Try it right there. Once you get it, you hit that green light in there, you pretty much know you got a stud there, but we verify. We always verify one way or another. But the easiest way on these walls over here, these walls are harder, but you can also go onto the other side of the wall sometimes. And see, he's got a green light there, so we know. Then
So
once
right
you
there.
find one, then you can go 16 inches over, and then you can go down with your laser. So there's all different ways to find it, but we always check it twice, 3 times to make sure. And once we get one stud, we can usually, if the framers were right on the money, every 16 inches. So if we find a stud over here, let's just say I say, hey, find a stud here. He finds one, then he can just measure every 16 inches like that. And sometimes you can even take this off and verify where you're at in there. So we have all different ways, but I'll tell you, we do charge for it. Because we let them know ahead of time that we have to find these studs, and then we got to find them, and we got to double check it and triple check it before we start putting holes in shit. And then, of course, if we do miss a stud, which I don't believe I ever have, and I haven't never, but if we miss a stud, then we just go with the same process, and maybe we'll hit it here. But if we don't, let's just say we miss it, then we go to the hardware that they recommend. Not the drill bits that they recommend, but the hardware, the mounting hardware they recommend. I go with that. If I miss a stud, then I always go with the wing it. And the reason why I do that is for liability. Because if something was to happen and those, and I used my own anchors and they break and they end up on the floor, a good lawsuit there. But if I use the wing it, if I miss the studs and I use the wing it hardware, then at least I can say that I did everything that the manufacturer wanted to make this as safe as possible, trying to shift some of that liability away from my ass. But anyway, it's a no-win situation. I hate these things. So anyway, with that being said, that's pretty much how we do this. And I hate to even post this, but it's content, and I saw John struggling with it the way I struggle with it. I struggle with it every time, and I just wanted some content, and I went off of it. No way in hell am I trying to throw any shade or disrespect. I mean, every time we do it, we end up in the same situation as John. We're no better, no less, but no better. And the last thing I want is John on my ass. Once you get him on your ass, that's it. So, but I'm gonna post it just to try to help out, I guess. It may help somebody that saw the videos or something. But and John, he's got the whole situation right. It's not like he can't do it. He's done hundreds of them before. He said he's done many of them, and they're all a pain in the ass. Every one I've done has been a pain in the ass. Everyone he's done been a pain in the ass. It's not like he's never done it. He's just saying that in the future, he don't want to fuck with it. He'd rather call that guy to do it. And to be honest with you, if I had a guy around here, I'd probably do the same thing. And to be honest with you, I've looked, because I fucking have nightmares the night before of cracking tiles, screwing shit up, ruining our reputation. I worry about all that shit. All that shit can go on Google. If you look at all our ads and you look, we've got like fucking 5-star straight and all good comments and everything. I don't want to, turd it up like that, with shit for handbars where you've cracked their shit and you can't do much about it other than, So with that being said, I at one time was looking for somebody that could do that for me. And then I thought, well, if he fucks up, then they're going to be mad at me and I'm going to lose their building. And so it's just better I do it. But anyway, all right, guys, that's about it. Vinny's going to take off and go do his other job.